guys. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Black Mamba LS-03 Commander of the God of War, also known as the knockoff of movie masterpiece Optimus Prime. I've been wanting to get this figure for a long time now. This is one of my most sought after figure for quite a while now, and I have finally had the chance to buy it. So without talking further ado, let's open up the box itself. So from the front and the back, this looks like this. Ignore the box why it's called Night of Light, because this is the wrong box. This is not the correct one. But anyway, let's open up the figure itself and let's see what we got. And it's quite a beefy figure also. It's quite big. And here we got, so I'm gonna turn this side to the box a bit. So we got the instruction booklet like this, as you can see, Commander of the God of War, and it has, I believe it has, 34 steps. But one thing to note about this instruction manual is that there is, if you can see right there, there's an Autobot logo, which is a big no-no for a third-party figure. And then this fan keeps getting in the corner. Okay, let me just. Alright, so this is what's supposed to be. This is what the box is supposed to look like this. I will leave a screenshot right here for it's the screenshot of the box that's supposed to come from one of the buyer himself. So this is how it looks like. Pretty good instruction. So let's talk about the accessories first. So we'll talk about the figure last, and this is quite heavy. And let me just put it on the side right now, and let's talk about the accessories. And we have the accessories itself. Let's open up this thing, and it has quite some few accessories, more accessories than the masterpiece movie. Oh my god, you need a cutter for that one. Let me just remove this. Wait, hold on. There we go. So this has a lot more accessories than the official movie masterpiece figure. So let's talk about the ion blasters of the pistols. So this looks really amazing. It's likely not, this is like a really good figure. I mean, this is really good accessories. It has like smoked off barrel over there, nicely painted and everything. You get two of them, but this one is not mirrored, unlike the previous review that I had by Waystar Leader. It's not mirrored. I mean, this is accurate to the Revenge of the Fallen one, the scene where Optimus Prime saves Sam from Megatron and stuff like that in the warehouse. This looks accurate. So I don't know if this is die-cast metal, but this feels plastic to me. Next up is we got these two Energon blades, and this looks amazing with super huge as well. Look at it in the size of my hand. It looks like this. It's super huge. A lot of detail also as well with both of these, and with this really nice silver over here, nicely sculpted. You got some Cybertronian glyph there, and some storage option, and of course unplugging the blade itself. Oh, pretty awesome as well. And the next one is we got the Energon hooks, and this one is not as big as my Byway one because this is properly sized, and this has really nice sculpting also as well. Look at it, this is amazing. But it doesn't have any storage option, as you can see. Only pegs it into the sword, where you plug the hand. Pretty good. I actually really like this sword. I don't really care about the hooks. I care more about the Energon blades and the Energon axe, which is from Dark of the Moon, I believe. And this is pretty cool. It also has some Cybertronian hieroglyph also as well. And this thing will have some two point of grips over here, up and down, which is pretty good. Both sides also as well. And this is pretty. Oh, it's pretty sturdy. It's pretty bendy. I'm really scared of touching this. And this one is also really pointy, so make sure you guys keep an eye on that. And it's pretty sharp. But you guys also may notice about these two, a pair of tires over here. This is one where I will show you guys in the robot mode, but this one is the collapsed one, not the split one, because the one in the robot mode that we have is split. It's kind of just like in the movie. So that is for the accessories. Pretty good and solid. And let's just talk about the figure itself, which is this one right here, which is this bad boy right here. And let's open up this thing, and this guy is absolutely huge. Let's check it out. Oh my god. Let's take this out of the box itself. Okay, this guy has a little bit standing up, but okay. And there is it. This is the knockoff version, oversized version of the movie masterpiece Optimus Prime. This guy is absolutely huge in comparison. So Like I said before about the splitting tires one is this one right here. So if you guys can see it, this part right here, as you can see, the tires are split just like in the movie. I can actually get a little bit closer in that one. As you can see, the tires are split. It's split just like in the movie. I think it's pretty good addition. It doesn't actually collapse collapsible like the original masterpiece figure, I believe, but it's okay. I like the option of having this split one. Doesn't one. I might change it to just the whole tires in general. I like that they include this, but it doesn't really bother me to the least. But you got options, of course. And here we have the figure itself. It's quite huge, and if you guys didn't see it, as you can see from top to bottom, this guy is absolutely massive, and I can't believe it. I believe this thing is about 32 centimeters tall, if I'm correct. But I want to point out the glaring issues about this one really quickly. First of all, is that some tabs doesn't want to tab in, just like the chest part here is supposed to tab in into there. Let me just pick this guy up. It's supposed to tab in inside there, but sometimes it doesn't want to. I mean, that one is not the biggest issue. It still want to tab in. It still wants to hold. Unlike the back part here, which by the way looks amazing. I really love that detail. I mean, it looks more accurate to the movie itself, except this part right here. But it's still accurate to the movie. But it's that they're supposed to be tab into that part. If you guys can see it, that's supposed to tab in. Sometimes it doesn't want to tab in. As you can see, you get easily loose. It doesn't want to tab in. Again, for me, not that big of an issue. Another part that's pretty loose is that the head itself. But I'm not really that mad about the head because you can actually kind of tighten up. If you guys can see it, there's a screw over there. You can actually tighten them up, which I might do it later. But okay, but it's pretty good. It's fine. I think that's most of the issue. Oh yeah, another one thing is that this bottom part here supposed to tab in to there. If you guys can focus it there, you're supposed to have it tab in into there, but sometimes it doesn't want to tab in. But when it does, it's pretty good. Also, this thing is, as you can see, is huge. It's super huge. It's bigger than any of the figures that I own. Oh my god. And of course, as you can hear, the ratchet joints itself are pretty tight and pretty awesome as well. I really like it. And it's been one of my sought after figures. And it's now right here. I have it right now. So now we have to talk about this. Let's talk about the detail on this figure itself. So the detail on the figure. Let's start up with the head itself. The detail is pretty amazing. As you can see, the eyes are sculpted really nicely. Really good. If you guys can see it, the eyes are also painted in a really good way. Pretty awesome. And it has a gimmick where you have a face changing gimmick. If you pull it up and just rotate it, and then collapse it back, you get the non-faceplate one, and this also looks incredibly detailed, really nicely sculpted as well. My phone camera isn't doing it any justice, but I can assure you, in person, it looks amazing. But I don't really like him without the faceplate on, so I'm just gonna put in the faceplate version. So let's plug it in. It's kind of hard to do. There we go. With faceplate on, looks even better in my opinion. Alright, so that's about the detail. The shoulder pad here is on spring load. It's on spring load. You can actually move it, and some articulation also, so pretty good. And then some little bit of detail on the hand itself. Looks some mechanical detail on it. Just looks absolutely amazing. And there's no Autobot logo on the middle because for obvious legal reasons, because it's a third-party figure, of course. But in my one of the glaring issues that I do notice is that the chest is too wide. This part is too large. It's too wide. Because if you look at the CGI model over here, if I can pick the picture right now, the chest part isn't that large. The chest part isn't that huge. It's kind of like a thin, like pretty thin. That's just one of the issues. I think let's go look at the more detail inside the grill of the fake grill on the truck, which just look amazing. The golden part itself, the feet itself, really good. If you can, let's take a look and see some more mechanical detail and stuff like that. Looks absolutely amazing. But down to the feet also as well. Feet details looks absolutely amazing. And let's take a look at the back one, and this just looks awesome. They even actually made the sculpted this one also as well. This is also accurate to the movie. The back is even more accurate to the movie. I absolutely love this. Like the red part over here and this piece. I don't know what I would call it that. I'm just gonna call it the back piece. I mean, it does kind of adjust out a little bit, but it's not like super thick as the Studio Series one. So so it's still pretty okay for me. And next thing that is also one thing with detail as well. The part of this one is doesn't accurate to the movie. There's nothing like this one. There's supposedly like this, but it's okay. Down to the mechanical detail also as well looks absolutely amazing. Like that just goes throughout to the whole figure. From the top, it's even look cool. Oh my god, the head. I need to screw that up really. The back of the head is also really nicely sculpted with that detail over there. It looks really amazing. Down to the mechanical detail, every single thing is, and oh, it's plugged out again. Never mind, plug that in again. And yeah, looks absolutely amazing in terms of detail and sculpting, and that looks absolutely gorgeous. So let's talk about one of the gimmicks. And other than the head gimmick, you can also access the matrix chamber. So you can actually just unplug that side chest over here. You can unplug this like that, and unplug this part too, and then just pull this middle part here, and then there is the matrix chamber over there. So you can actually go through from the side, and just you can pull it from the side, or just pull it with some kind of toothpick or part separator or something. So let's just pull it out, and I'm gonna a little bit of trouble here. Oh, here, there we go. And just open that guy up, and we got the matrix of leadership based on the Revenge of the Fallen one. And this guy is absolutely detailed. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so look at that. As you can see, it's nicely sculpted, but doesn't have any color. Like there's the middle part where the blue stuff, the blue part isn't painted and everything like that. But it's pretty good. I believe this is die-cast metal too, because it's so cold to the touch. Anyway, so you plug it in back into the chamber just like this one. You put it inside so that it may tab in. So I mean, you can actually just plug in like that. Another glaring issue that I want to point out is that the feet is not the most stable one. It's not really completely flat. This is the front of the truck. I mean, it's still die-cast metal. It still holds up really quite well, but it doesn't want to stand in really nice. It still wants to stand in, but it's kind of a bit of pain when it doesn't want to. But next thing that I want to talk about is how the accessories hand. I have tried to plug in the Ion Blaster before on the hand, and it's quite really hard to do. It doesn't want to plug in. And of course you have articulated fingers. So let me just zoom in really. You have articulated fingers, as you can see, for the thumb, for the pointing finger, and this thing is sculpted all the way in. And you guys have a set of tabs on this end. You can actually plug it into there, which in my own experience, it doesn't want to plug in. It doesn't want to plug in. Like, it's really hard to do. It's either I don't know how to plug in, or it's really, really hard, and it doesn't want to plug in. Like, this guy is just, it's just stuck, man. It's just super hard. I'm recommending of just sending that down, or maybe sending this guy down. So, or maybe sending the top part, or maybe the inside, to make it easier for you to put it in. Same thing can be said on his about the energon blades too. But let me just plug that. Let me just move the hand back. The finger itself is super tight. I appreciate that, pretty good. And your hand can move inside inward just like this, which reveals this set of hole, which you can plug the energon sword in. But in my experience, as like I mentioned before, it doesn't want to plug in. Let me just show you guys. And it doesn't want to plug in. And hey, there we go. Okay, there we go. Never mind. And this guy looks absolutely amazing with the sword. Let me just get a little bit of pose over here. Look absolutely amazing with the sword. Doesn't want to plug. It's plugged in really nicely, really good. Forget about what I said. Doesn't plug in. It does plug in. Pretty good, very good. But the Ion Blaster, it still doesn't want to plug in. So it's okay. It doesn't really that much of an issue though. And I think that's about the accessories. Again, let's plug in the packs. See if that works. So let's. Oh my god. Yeah, another thing that I want to point out is that this is supposed to connect to this. It's supposed to tap into there, but doesn't really. It's easily unplugged, but it's also easily loose. It's easily you can easily plug it out, and you can easily plug it in easily. So, but I'm not really that mad about it. It's really easy to plug in when you're transforming the figure, which I will show the truck mode later on. Let me plug that in, and let's move this hand, open it up again. Let's plug in the X itself. Let's try the X one to see if that would work. Let's see if I plug it in. Oh, it does plug in, but it's pretty. Oh, it's not loose. I was gonna say it's pretty loose, but it doesn't. It's not that loose. Pretty good with the axe itself. Let me just zoom out real quickly. Looks pretty good with the axe. Ready to slice Megatron's face into half. But I think about all the accessories and about the gimmicks that he had. I think that's all of there. So yeah, let's talk about the posability of this guy. Let's talk about with the head. Let's start with that. Let me just. Let's start out with the head. This head can swivel around on the base of the neck, and it can look up and down that far. It doesn't have any ball joint. It doesn't move to side. You can only swivel it and move up and down. Let's talk about the hand. And the hand itself, you can full 360 rotation. Nice ratchet joint. I appreciate that. And the hand and the hand can move out that far, which is pretty good. And the shoulder itself, you can adjust the shoulder just like so, and this one is spring loaded, which is pretty good. And then you get a bend at the elbow, pretty good. Not double bend, single bend. And like I said before about the finger itself, the thumb can move, and the trigger finger can move, and the three finger are sculpted in one joint. Pretty good itself. That's about the hand. And then the hips and the legs can extend downwards to free up that space, so you can activate his excellent waist swivel. And the waist swivel is tight. I appreciate that. And that's for the waist. And the feet itself can move. Let me just zoom out a bit. And the feet can move. The feet can move out. Really tight. I appreciate that a lot. Oh, it doesn't plug in. It's okay. And the feet can move about back that far. Let me zoom out back that far. And you can move that far out, and you can extend it back up to limit the possibility and stuff like that. You might want to unextend it if you don't want to activate the waist swivel and stuff like that. And I'm gonna extend it for this time, and you can extend it, and you get a bend at the knee. It's supposed to be double bend, but it's actually, as you can see, it's locked by the knee pad. Move that out, and you get a double bend at the knee. Pretty good. So I actually like. Well, of course, if you want to activate a more full range of motion, which you can do that. You got a pretty good, very tight thigh swivel. Pretty good. And the feet can move up that far and down that far, and also a little bit to side to side. And pretty good pivot. Oh, it still keeps unplugging. And some pretty good side to side. To put into perspective of how huge this figure is, here it is compared to the Byway Starter TW1022 or the Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime, and this is a complete beast on this one here. This guy stands around 32 centimeters, I believe, around 32 centimeters, and this guy's around, I think, about half of it. As you can see, it's not that huge, but I think in terms of scale, this guy is pretty huge. And if you want to know what happens to the right hand, I recommend you check out my previous video on this. When I reviewed this guy, to know what happened with the right hand. It's basically a fatal flaw. And here he is alongside my bootleg version of the SH Figuarts Marvel Spider-Man PS4 Advanced Suit. And I think it doesn't really scale correctly, and this guy is still quite a little bit taller for a human-sized figure. But I think it's still worth noting that this guy is absolutely huge. And I'm not gonna show you with my bootleg version SH Figuarts Iron Man one, because that guy is a chore to handle. It's really, you guys can check my review video about it. It's just a chore just to stand that guy up. I mean, it's still harder than this one, in my opinion. Okay, you guys have already seen the accessories that it comes with, the size comparison and everything like that, and the features and the gimmicks and even the articulation. So I'm gonna be transforming this guy into a shock mode. I'm not gonna show you guys step by step on how to transform it, because there's a lot of videos already on YouTube on how to do that. So I'm just gonna show you guys quickly on his truck mode in just a bit. And here it is in the truck mode itself. Absolutely amazing. The transformation may be a little bit cancer, but the end result is absolutely amazing. This is a really good detailed truck mode, and this is pretty hefty also as well. As you can see by my hand size over here, it's super huge. Pretty awesome truck mode. It rolls really nicely. I changed the tire also as well. I changed the tire to the normal tire, as like I said before. But let's take a look at the truck mode itself. I mean, due to being a third party, I mean, there's some tabs that doesn't really want to tab in, but it doesn't really bother me in the least, because this mode is amazing. As you can see by the truck mode, there's no Autobot logo for obvious legal reasons. There's a clear window plastic, doesn't show anything, and this just looks absolutely amazing. The paint job where the yellow gradient doesn't really transfer into the hood, which is okay, but still pretty weird. It's still from far really far behind. It screams Human Alliance Optimus Prime for me. So it looks amazing. You got the train stuff in here. You got the ladder to the door itself. Absolutely amazing. The toolbox, even the back, it's clean. And as you can see, even though it's a little bit gappy, you can see a little bit of the feet. When you look at the bottom, this is one of the cleanest cable management I have ever seen in a Transformers figure. This guy is an absolute brick to handle. It stays tabbed in, even though most of this one doesn't really want to tab in. It's super solid. It still doesn't want to take off or lose or anything else. And here it is, Commander of the God of War compared to the BYT Star Leader or the Studio Series 32. This guy there's a huge difference in size, as you can see. In just it's different from everything, from the paint app into the transformation, the engineering, and even the size. It's super different. Like it's completely different figure. I would give the Commander God of War a little bit of credit. The back itself is much cleaner than this one. This one has the feet sticking out of it, as you can see, has the feet. But even so, this guy is really accurate to the movie, even from the back detail and everything like that. Even though it's a little bit of gappy, you can see a little bit of the foot. It's still it's more clean than the Studio Series one, which is saying a lot. I absolutely love this one, and as you can see, it doesn't want to tap in, but in the smoke snacks you can extend and up to make it more accurate to the Studio Series. But everything else, this guy is an absolute machine. So that is my review of the BMB Commander of the God of War, also known as the knockoff version, oversized MPM-04 Optimus Prime. If you guys enjoyed the review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys want to see some more Transformers or maybe toy reviews in general. If you want to see some more stuff, make sure to subscribe and leave a like and comment down below if you actually have this figure or not, or if you have any other questions regarding about this figure. I might answer. I will try my best to answer any questions regarding this figure or anything in general about my channel and everything like that. Anyway guys, this has been Kinemaster 128. Peace. See ya.